Well, hell fire. It is RockdaRiff, and I am back for another Metalhead Envy. And if anybody was just in my stream this morning and watched me get my ass kicked by that mantis shrimp, oh. So I'm hoping these last three songs of Eyes Like a Sky is going to cheer me up this morning. That damn mantis shrimp. He's like, why do you come to this grove? And then he fucks your shit up. Another Crab's Treasure. Tough as nails, man. I can't believe how tough that game is. Disney Souls like. Last track we checked out, the Bad Man, Goat Man's Lust or whatever. That was a nasty song. The Killing Round. Let's roll through and see what we got going on with the last three tracks of this album.
Chapter 5. For days they traveled, the young man and the Yavapai girl. She told him her name and they spoke in the language. They rode the horses until they gave out, then their throats were slit and meat was taken to eat later. No fires were lit, and they ate berries and raw jackrabbit as well to keep going.
Yeah, I like that acoustic line with the whistle. That kind of makes me want to write a riff doing that.
And they ate berries and raw jackrabbit as well to keep going. After a week, they relaxed more as they entered Apache area. They saw it dust way off like dust devils, but they knew it was horses. They could hear shots and no more. When all was quiet a day later, they moved silently towards the killing ground. The buzzards told them the story before they got there. Dead white people, a lot of them, maybe a half dozen. Burnt wagons and arrows, but not from one tribe. Some of the arrows were different, and shot hoof marks and moccasin tracks that were shaped like a white man's way of walking. Some white men had done this loosely disguised as Apache.
What is that? Is that like a wind instrument? Or is that singing from people? It's kind of hard to tell exactly for me. Now, somebody that knows is going to comment and be like, man, that's a... And I want that. I want to know what is that exactly. That... I can't even imitate it. Like, I would believe that. That's got to be a wind instrument.
They took what they could and use and walked on. The purple mountains and red ochre earth swallowed them up, and the young man smelled his own blood as they ran, and it was a good smell. The smell of being alive.
I wonder, like, I've always heard that from people. It's like anybody's had a near-death experience. It's like the adrenaline.
It's not having access to 1 million industrial grade products that's so amazing. It's the feeling of knowing you'll find the one.
knowing you'll find the one. Find the one ad that will make me want to buy some grandeur. No offense to grandeur. There's probably some good products in that. I get I don't know. I need to learn how to be ad savvy and safe and everything. But yeah. It's like I've never had a near death. Well, nothing too crazy. I've had some car crashes that were fucking a bit wonky, and I definitely afterwards was like pumped. But it's like listening to that and being that close to death and the smell of death, and you feel so alive afterwards. Dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind. Let's get it.
Suddenly, the girl dipped sideways, and a split second later, the young man heard a distant shot. He dived for some rocks and watched as more bullets hit the girl. The young man
Dad's getting to have fun
when
with
she
this.
died. He worked out where the shots were coming from. He knew that death was going to walk among the shooters. Chapter 6. There is one thing that a white man should never do, and that is move towards an Apache, because you will never get there.
Don't move towards an Apache, white man. I feel like that one dude on TikTok. It's like his album. What is that guy? Modern Warrior. But what was I getting ready to say? I was getting ready to say something until I started thinking of that jackass dude. Shit. I can't believe I just lost my train of thought. Oh, Cavs. I bet Cavs was having fun doing the drums of this, which another thought I've had. This is King Gizzard's second full album, and the production value is crazy. Like, I'm so curious how this came about. And I'm asking this from the sense of being a musician and knowing how much money I spent with my band on our first album and our second EP. And I know this was a while back, but I know it still cost a pretty penny to record and do all this. So now I'm curious, like, has King Giz, I mean, hell, there was like 5 or 6 of them, so splitting the bills ain't too bad in that sense, but was there an actual, like, investor into King Giz in the early days? Because, I mean, there's a lot going on with this record. Like, different instruments, drumming-wise, like, all kinds of cool stuff going with it.
There is one thing that a white man should never do, and that is move towards an Apache, because you will never get there. How do you catch dust in the wind? The young man saw the way they were coming by the movement of insects and birds, and he knew where to go. Like the snake, he slithered into a dry arroyo and worked behind the shots in an arc. After a while, he saw them. 3 men, 3 white men clad in skins, and they walked confidently towards the girl. The young man knew somewhere behind them another one held the horses, making 4 altogether. He moved towards that man. The killers could wait, let them enjoy the hunt before they went under. He found the one with the horses. He was young too, and he died quietly with a surprised, indignant look on his face. The young man tied the horses to a tree, and they'd come in handy later.
This could be the soundtrack of the fight that I've been having with the Mantis Rip this morning in my stream. Because that dude it's terrifying. It's terrifying, man. That guy takes you out in 2 hits, and it's just like, oh my gosh. It's hardcore. Because this, like, is just pure panic music. It's like, I like the instrumentation, but I'm having Like, I cannot think of this as a song. I am thinking of this strictly as a story now. There's a few tracks on this record that to me are songs, but for the most part, it's a story with theme. It's a theme music story. Theme music story. It's Broderick telling a story, and it's like I used to sit around when I was real young with my buddies, and if there was like 5 or 6 of us, I'm sitting there and I got an acoustic in my hand, and we're all fucking passing the blunt. We used to smoke bud out of 2 liters. That's when I really remember it. We would take a 2 liter and do a hit hole and a choker, and we would have tinfoil in the top of it. And you poke little bitty holes in the tinfoil, and you're like, and we would fill the 2 liter bottle up full of smoke to take your finger off the choker and take a big old hit. It was like a bong bowl. And we would sit around and tell stories. And I swear I would always sit here and think about, now that I'm hearing this and thinking about it even more, I would have the acoustic, and while one of my buddies was telling a story, I'd sit there and be playing some music. And I normally did like Jaws kind of like theme music, like bam bam with drop D. I'd be like bam bam. I don't know why this part of the album just made me think of that. Dust in the wind.
Later, 4 horses and equipment. At the girl's body, 2 men knelt beside her while another stood guard. The guard suddenly cried out as his head exploded in a bubble of pink spray and he fell forward.
Bullet.
The other 2 went to ground and nervously called out to each other. Do you see the bastard? No, he must be close. But he wasn't. A sharp sporting rifle will reach a long way in the right hands. The young man took careful aim, and the smaller of the 2 men felt his right leg blasted away. The bigger, heavier man sank as far into the ground as he could make himself go. Still, he could not see where the young man was.
At Mint Mobile, we like to do the opposite of what Big Wireless does. They charge you a lot.
Oh, Ryan Reynolds. Dude, I want to see Deadpool versus Wolverine. It's been a minute since I watched a comic book movie, but I definitely want to see that one. The ending of this album is pretty dark. I'm waiting for y'all to explain it a bit more in the comments, but these people are getting massacred. Is it Blue that's taking them out, or is Blue in the group trying to protect himself? I'm not sure.
The young man by now was astride a horse and making for a Yavapai stronghold half a day's ride away. He had more guns and horses than he needed, and he knew where 2 white men were sitting in the desert with no water and no horses. White men dressed as Yavapai Apaches. The white men would be calling for their mothers and their god by evening. But the young man would be drunk on tiswin and full of deer meat, and satisfied by their agony.
So was it Blue hunting them? All right. That is the ending of the album, right? Yep, guns and horses. Interesting album. Interesting album. I definitely think that I like the Raid Evil Man. I think Evil Man takes the top as a song. in this album. But I do like it all. I know somebody commented was like, change out Broderick for Hantayami, and would I like it? And I don't think so. I like the spoken word in this isn't bothering me because y'all kind of gave me a heads up going into this, being like, yo, this is a narrated story and everything. And the fact it says story written and narrated by Broderick, I think that's a cool combination. I love the guitar riffs, and it speaks to the Western side of me, the love I have for Westerns and thinking about the old Wild West. But the guitar riffs are really killer too. Uh, I like that guitar tone a lot. Shit. Still trying to wake up this morning and get ready for work. It's interesting. Definitely feel like the way I've broken it up and like how I normally do the Metalhead Envies is not the way to approach this album. You literally, I can see why it's not talked about a lot because people do tend to like singles more nowadays. And this album, you have to take it as a whole to understand. And even then, I'd have to go through this multiple times before I understood the story completely. I am not like reading a book. If I was reading along with this, I'd understand the story better. But trying to decipher what instrumentation is going on and listen to what Broderick was saying, my brain don't compute like that. So I'm always excited to read the comments and see what y'all have to say and tell me what part of the story y'all fancied the most and everything. But I'm happy. I think the part that impresses me, like I said already, that this is King Gizzard's like second official record or third official record. I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly. But the balls, the confidence that it took. I shouldn't say the balls. The confidence that it took to make this record. Because you would think in the early days of King Giz, they're trying to be as catchy and trying to get as much of an audience as they can so they can continue to do it. And I'm simply saying that from my own point of view. It's like I put years and a shit ton of money into two records of my own, and neither one of them really catch traction. And I understand they're very niche, especially now after doing the Metalhead Envies and seeing what people request, the kinds of songs that people request more often than not. And like it's kind of changed my outlook. Like I want to do a record now that I want to do my own King Gizzard record honestly. I want to do my own record that's like a mixture of Ghost and King Gizzard at the moment. But that will take me some time and thought process. But yeah, King Gizzard, y'all are fucking awesome, man. If I ever get a chance to see y'all live or meet one of the members, I will fucking go berserk. I'm excited for the next record we're gonna do, Flight B 741. That's right. I know y'all said there was a new single that released, and I have not listened to it yet. I'm waiting. Today is the 8th, and so that album comes out tomorrow. Hell yeah. Comes out tomorrow, and I won't be doing any Metalhead Envies tomorrow, but Saturday we'll be starting with that album. And yeah. I cannot think of anything else to say. Eyes Like the Sky was interesting. And I hope y'all have an awesome day. That really did cheer me up. I'm a lot happier now that I've finished checking out the ending of this album over that fucking mantis shrimp. I can't remember what his name is. Like Graveyard Skulker or some shit. I gotta go to work. So stay positive, stay rocking, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.